It's time for the iPhone 7 versus the Galaxy S8. I'm gonna do this, and there's not gonna be any cop-out, whatever phone's best for you conclusion. Every one of these 6 categories is gonna have a winner, and I'm gonna declare the winner at the end of this video. Let me get a few caveats out of the way. I am well aware the iPhone 7's been out for about 8 months. By the time the next generation iPhone hits, the iPhone 7S, iPhone 8, iPhone X, whatever they want to call it, the Galaxy S8 will already been out for about 6 months. These phones don't come out the same day. These are 2 phones that people are cross-shopping at this exact moment. So when the next iPhone hits, we'll update this video and we'll do a fresh versus. Alright, so now that I've got that disclaimer out of the way, remember, your personal well-being is not tied up in what phone OS you choose. So speaking of what phone OS you choose, let me tell you the 6 categories can determine the ultimate smartphone winner. We're going to talk about design, screen, software, camera, battery, and intangibles. And throughout this review, I'm going to talk about the iPhone 7 Plus and the Galaxy S8 Plus as well. Let's go ahead and start with design. I kind of view this category as if you handed the phone screen off to someone, which one would they like more in the hand? The S8 has a glass back and metal frame with the glass curving on both sides. The craziest thing about this thing is that it's got an 84% screen to body ratio. It's also super thin at 8mm. I really don't like the color choices in the US, and they're all super fingerprinty. The front is also all screen, no physical buttons. I don't necessarily trust it for long-term durability for drops. I did drop mine, it was okay, but glass on glass does not strike me as overly durable. On the iPhone side, Apple knows what they're doing. The metal Unibody phone looks really good. It's also even thinner than the S8 at 7.1mm and almost disappears in your pocket. The color choices are way better here and not nearly as fingerprinty unless you decide to go jet black. You still have a large Touch ID sensor in the middle, making for pretty significant bezels. In fact, its screen to body ratio is 66%. Just based on design, this one should be pretty obvious. Galaxy S8 takes the category. Next, let's talk about screen. This one is arguably the most important category since the way you interact with your phone is all through the screen. And I think that this winner here is going to be pretty obvious. Samsung Super AMOLED screen on the S8 and the S8 Plus are damn good looking. They both have the same QHD Plus resolution, so that the 5.8-inch screen on the smaller S8 model actually has a higher pixel density than the larger 6.2-inch display, and it's a really big one on paper. On the iPhone 7 side, it's a 4.7-inch IPS panel, the resolution of 750 by 1334, the PPI of 326. Just let that sink in right now. 326. Remember, the PPI on the S8 is 570. And I get pixels per inch isn't everything. It's how the screen looks and outdoor visibility, how it looks inside that matters. And 100 out of 100 times, the Samsung screens on either phone look better than what Apple has to offer. So clearly, winner goes to the Samsung Galaxy S8. Alright, let's jump into software and OS, and I could feel the fanboy rage bubbling. Let me channel it here for a minute. This is the best thing the iPhone has going for it. It's Apple's ecosystem. Photos, FaceTime, and iMessages, I'll be willing to bet, are the main factors keeping people from at least looking to make a switch to Android. The ecosystem is huge for Apple, and no one does it better than them. Apps just work, even if they are in the same grid layout we saw with, say, iPhone OS 1.0 back in 2007. If you haven't looked at Android in a while, it's come a long way since the honeycomb days, and Samsung's UI on top of Android 7.0 as of this filming is actually really good. I love the flexibility to customize the phone to look how I want it, but it does lack some of the polish of iOS 2, and there's too many versions running on too many different phones to really get a consistent experience. Samsung did a nice job here at backup and restore, but it's still not as elegant as what you have on the iPhone. Also, Apple does an incredible job at app management. The same apps, almost 100 out of 100 times, will open faster on an iPhone. Software is a huge selling point for Apple, and just from an OS perspective, it's got to go to Apple. So Apple came back swinging. Let's talk about camera. I know this matters to a lot of people. And I could give the cop-out answer of camera subjective, get what's best for you, but hell no to that. We're going to pick a winner here. So camera's tricky to do without talking about the 7 Plus, so I'm bringing that back into the mix here. Both have the 12 megapixel sensors, but that's pretty much where the similarities end between Apple and Samsung. So Samsung didn't change the key specs on its rear camera versus the S7, but it did update the software. It uses processing techniques now, such as combining multiple shots, get higher quality photos, and also allow you to blur the background. It's really similar to what Apple has on the iPhone 7 Plus with the portrait mode. So speaking of the iPhone 7 Plus, it's got 2 cameras, lets it zoom in closer and way more clearly. It also lets you shoot those blurry bokeh shots, which make portraits look really good. Landscapes are a big one for a lot of people. On nice days in SoCal, it was really hard to get a bad shot with either phone. The S8's got a wider angle lens that you squeeze a little bit more into the frame if you're standing in the same position, and the S8 shot had a little bit more dramatic and bright, vibrant colors, and the iPhone I think did a better job of capturing the texture of the image. But that's not the end of the discussion. There are other ways to take photos. The S8's got an 8x digital zoom, while the iPhone's got a combination of optical and digital. The iPhone's optical lens lets it get 2 times closer, then uses digital zoom to get up to 10x. So neither phone and either shot look crisp at like 8x. But the S8's photo looks a lot more pixelated and definitely blown up. The iPhone's optical zoom really shines the most, and the iPhone's version is just softer with kind of warmer tones. And if you want selfies, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little more into these days, the S8 is your phone. Its wide angle lens lets you fit more into the photo without straining your arm, while the higher number of megapixels, 8 versus 7 on the iPhone, makes selfies just look sharper. I don't carry a point and shoot camera very much anymore. I rely on my phone to take every picture that I take. And if I had all these lined up on a table and had to pick one to go out to a big family event or take photos of my kids or go shoot landscape, the best phone for almost every situation, I'd pick the iPhone 7 Plus. It's the winner here. All right, so next let's talk about battery, because your phone's gotta keep going. And this is definitely not just a tale of specs, because if it was just specs, the S8's got a 3000 mAh battery, where the iPhone 7's got a 1960. It would seem like a blowout, but that is definitely not the case here. Samsung gives you awesome battery saving options, plus quick charge and wireless charging. The iPhone generally lasts me about 5 to 8% longer on a typical day of the same usage, but 7 minutes of fast charging totally negated that. So despite the iPhone lasting longer on normal mode, the S8 on max battery mode is incredible and can stretch 5% battery life into almost 9 hours. Plus way more ways to charge, plus fast charging. I'd rather have the flexibility to put into max mode or to put into a mid battery saving mode and get longer battery life. And also if I can get near a wall outlet, plug it in for 5-6 minutes and gain 10 to 15%. The winner here is the Galaxy S8, but it was close. And next, let's talk about intangibles. You might want to get out a checklist for this. Let's talk about the Galaxy S8. IP68, quick charge, wireless charging. It's got a headphone jack, which is something I have to talk about nowadays. Bluetooth 5.0, so you can connect 2 wireless headphones to it. Gigabit LTE capabilities, Samsung Pay, Gear VR ready, Bixby, just kidding. Iris scanning. I'd say really fast fingerprint reader, but its placement on the phone is still really annoying to me. For Apple, ecosystem, Apple Pay, IP67, and great build quality. That laundry list alone should probably tell you who the winner is. The winner in intangibles is, there's probably no suspense there, the Galaxy S8. I was going to add another category about performance and mention Geekbench scores of single and multi-core, but both phones here are super fast. So I left that part out. These are modern, powerful, flagship phones. They're going to work for multitasking no matter what it is you're going to do. So if you're keeping track at home, let me do a real quick recap for you. Design went to the S8, screen went to the Galaxy S8, software went to Apple, camera went to Apple, battery went to the S8, and intangibles went to the S8. And before you start screaming fanboy at me or want to know how much Samsung paid me, the answer is, I like what I like. The winner here is the Samsung Galaxy S8. Now, in a few months, Apple's going to have a chance to answer this, to come out swinging with the iPhone 8, the iPhone X, iPhone Edition, or whatever name they want to call it, which should bring things to the table that the Galaxy S8 has. Wireless charging, fast charging, doubtful headphone jack, but also bigger screens with better resolution. So if you're deciding which phone to pick up right now, the Galaxy S8 is a better choice. If you're ensconced in the Apple ecosystem, then you already know what you're going to go with. But if you want to try something new, look towards the Galaxy S8. But what do you guys think? Am I wrong? Am I right? Do you agree or disagree? And take your own phone OS out of the equation for a minute, just based on what I said. What do you agree? Do you think the winner was right with the Galaxy S8 and the Galaxy S8 Plus? Leave your comments down below. Regardless of which side you're on, please give the video a thumbs up. We always appreciate it. If you want to see more verses, that'll let us know. Until next time, I am John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. So this furry face wants to thank the folks at Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring this video and making this Versus possible. For a limited time, new members get their first month of the Executive Razor with a tube of Dr. Carver's shave butter for only $5 and free shipping. So in your first month's box, you're gonna get a pretty awesome, nice weighty handle, a full cassette of 4 cartridges, and a tube of their shave butter, which I don't recommend putting on toast. That's a $15 value for only $5, and after that, Razor's just a few bucks a month. No hidden fees, no commitments, you can cancel anytime. If you don't want to go to the store to buy your razors and deal with lines, just let your razors come to you. Make the smarter choice with Dollar Shave Club. Go to dollarshaveclub.com/techno, link down below to sign up today.